Notice anything different? And what about the thumbnail? Small hints. We are indoors because we are finally having the storm that it had been threatening to do all week long. All week long, the humidity had been so thick that I could cut it with a knife. I look out in the distance and it was foggy from the humidity. It wasn't fog. It was all week long. And over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, thunder, no rain. Well, today we're finally getting the rain. And you might even hear some thunder as well. But of course, this is not like a weather channel or anything. I'm noticing my tripod is a little cockeyed for some reason. Oh, well, I've got the legs up. Anyway, okay, so I have got bad news, but I've got good, better, and it's about time news. So I'm just going to go on ahead and get right into it. I hope that I don't have any problem because of the storm outside. Okay, so I ended up with a great start. Saturday morning, I came in at 219.6. I felt so good. I texted my friend and told her the great news. And then I was eating when I was hungry. And this is the crazy thing. Like, we went to go get groceries, and I just had myself a ham sandwich and yogurt. Well, I wasn't hungry for the longest time for the rest of the day. And it was even after 4 o'clock, and I still wasn't hungry. And then finally, I had some leftover stroganoff. That stroganoff that I had fixed Friday. I had some of that was left over. So I reheated that and had the rest of the leftovers, and I was good for the rest of the evening. And then I don't remember exactly what it was, but I went on ahead and ate the rest of the jelly beans, which was fine because there wasn't that many left anyway. But it seems like I had done something else. Yeah, I ended up hungry again, and I fixed myself a stack of pancakes. And this was Saturday. Well, what made it so bad about me having the pancakes was it was way after 9 o'clock. It was more like around 10 o'clock, which was the first. And then yesterday, I came in at 2. Let me look over my note. 221.6. So there went the 219. 2 pounds up even. And I had just been declaring that I was permanently out of the 220s. So yesterday, I had nuggets, chicken nuggets, and fish sticks after my Sunday school service. And I was determined I was really going to knock it out with the protein. Really knock it out with the protein. And so I didn't have anything but the nuggets and the fish. And that was fine for a little while. And then I felt myself hungry again. So I had fixed myself pizza rolls and fries. Well, I made sure to count the pizza rolls and I made sure to count the fries. I didn't purposefully count the chicken and the fish sticks. I did after I was done baking them. But the pizza rolls and the fries, I had counted and logged ahead of time. And I ran over to DG. I was going to get myself some cream soda. Well, they didn't have any cream soda, so I got myself some Arizona sweet tea, which maybe is on the better side anyway. But I did tell the manager that I would like some of the A&W cream sodas. So she said that she would try to get the Dr. Pepper man to drop some off. Anyway, but the thing about that is the cream soda I can drink, which is odd. I can drink the cream soda, but like the Coca-Cola and stuff like that causes me problems. I can drink the root beer, I can drink the cream soda. Go figure. Anyway, putting that aside, they have got their Easter treats down to 70%. So I got me a small Russell Stouffer chocolate bunny. And it was only 13 cents. Cool deal, huh? And I found out, and once again, I had told you, I think it was Thursday or Friday, I told you that I had discovered that I couldn't eat a lot of sugar, that it, it just doesn't taste right to me any good anymore. And true to form, I ate the ears first. That was good chocolate. Took another bite. Well, that was pretty good too. But by the time I got down past the head and was finishing up the rabbit, I was like, man, this is just too much. I like, yeah. So, you know, I'm very tickled about that. I'm extremely tickled about that. So I had, and I was still within because, okay, let me back up just a hair so that you understand. Um, my net diary had me at a calorie allowance of 1,800 something. And they had wanted me to go back over my goals and everything. And when I did, they had reset me. Well, I had mentioned before that on my net diary, they had always had me at like 1,500 something. Well, this time my adjustment was at 1,620 something or something around there. Basically saying I'm allowed 1,600 calories a day, right? So, with the chicken nuggets and the fish sticks, and then the pizza rolls and the fries, Catherine, and then the tea and the bunny. I was within the limit of the 1,600 calories. I was within the limit. But then once again, I'd gotten hungry, and assumed like I'd had something else. I can't recall. I don't remember. Um, but it does. It seems like I had something else and I logged it. And this was just before bed, and I didn't even bother logging it. So basically, saying I was probably about 2,300 calories or so. And anyway, I woke up this morning at 223.6. 223.6, another 2 pounds up. Okay, first off, I don't have enough muscle mass yet to burn off any extra calories that I eat. And with the weekend, me not really doing any real exercise, it means that I've got to be even more cautious with what kind of food I eat. I am really, truly wanting to focus on having the right amount of protein because where I'm older, I don't want to lose my muscle mass. And I saw, I don't know what her name is, but she, if I remember correctly, she had said that she was like over 260 or something like that when she had started. Somewhere around there, 250 or something. And she had lost 100 pounds. Now, normally, when somebody loses a lot of weight, they end up with excessive skin. And she had managed to not only lose the 100 pounds, but she also got herself ripped. Now, what she's doing is she is also training for a bodybuilding competition, which I'm never going to do. But I had watched her video, and she was talking about how that a lot of women say that they want to lose weight, but they don't want to get bulked up. And she said, yes, you do. And then she went on to explain why. She said, first off, after the age of 30, you start to lose muscle mass. She said, second off, by building muscle, you strengthen your metabolism so that you can keep the weight off and you have better confidence. It also helps to strengthen your bones and it helps you fight against osteoporosis. And she named off some other things. And then she gave a few tips of how to make sure to achieve this. And she had said to make sure that you have got plenty of protein in your diet. That way your muscles has got a better chance to regenerate and to build. And it was encouraging to me because I'm looking at this woman who had successfully lost 100 pounds, didn't have any excessive skin hanging on her anywhere, and she had great shoulder definition, great biceps, great thighs. You know, she was built. And I got thinking that, yeah, I've been wanting to make sure to keep up with body toning as I lose the weight because, you know, I don't want to have sagging skin as I lose this weight. Now, there's one woman that I absolutely love watching. I've been watching her on and off for at least since 2019. And her name is Corey, and the name of her channel is Redefining Strength. Yeah, she's not in any bodybuilding competitions, but she is constantly doing weights and other body toning exercises. And she had showed her before picture. Well, she wasn't fat, but she wasn't toned. And so she had started doing things to tone up and get beautiful toned abs and arms and legs and stuff. And she's got a really great physique. And I was watching, she happened to have come up on the menu, on my suggestion menu. And this is just how God works. God is so awesome. Because it was Saturday or Friday. It was Friday when I had watched that one woman who had lost 100 pounds. And her talking about having more protein and making sure that you build muscle so that you can strengthen your body and your bones and other situations. And then yesterday, either yesterday or Saturday, I think it was yesterday, but yesterday I didn't really watch any TV for a while. It was Saturday. I watched Corey. And Corey was talking about 5 ways that you can build, or 5 ways that you can lose fat but not muscle. And she was talking about the different excuses we use and like don't like tracking and logging food and the food is so boring. And, she was naming off the different excuses that we have to not do things right. And she's shown sample plates of the different foods that she would have, like uh, lightly fried boiled baby potatoes, uh, rich fresh green beans, probably more or less lightly fried in olive oil, no doubt, and chicken. Or she would show, just that was one plate that I saw, and she showed other plates that she had shrimp and something and other things. So, you know, really nutritious plates, and the portions was large, but the food was good quality food. You know what I mean? It was food that the body needed. And so I was paying attention to what she was saying and what she was doing, getting some ideas of what I wanted to do to add to my strength training routine. And the thing is, though, like yesterday, I did apply more protein, but it still wasn't a balanced meal. And I ended up suffering the majority of the night. I didn't necessarily have acid reflux, but I had a very heavy stomach. And when I got up to go pee in the middle of the night, I decided to go on ahead and allow my body to relieve some of that was in my upper area. And when I get like that, when I end up with excessive acid or a whole lot of like air pockets that's very close to my esophagus that I just can't burp, it's right there at the top. I don't have to do anything to force my body. I just lean over and it goes. But the good thing is it's not a forced, like, when you're sick with diarrhea and vomiting. I mean, I'm trying to keep everything so very peaceful and friendly on this, but I'm going to get right out with it. When you're sick like that, your body convulses. It is trying every which way it can to get rid of that excessive food and whatever else is in the body that it just can no longer process. But for me, I have discovered that it works better than antacids or having bread or milk, or I even discovered that popcorn works good to take care of the acidic stomach. But rather than putting something more down into my system, I discovered that all I have to do is just lean over the commode, and all it takes is one, two, or even three small little regurgitations, and that's it. That's it. One night it only took one regurgitation. Another night it only took two. Last night it took three. But it relieved the pressure on my gut, and I was finally able to sleep comfortably. And it's sad that I've had to do that, but that's because of what I eat. Now, I have declared so many times before that you can lose weight on candy. Even if you eat candy or cakes or ice cream or whatever, I've declared that up and down. And you can. But this is the clicker. You end up suffering the repercussions. You may not necessarily gain weight per se, but you'll still suffer acid in the night, not being able to sleep. What I had discovered over the weekend, that just because I have got myself resting, I'm only resting from exercise. That is not entitlement for me to eat however much of whatever. And I was telling the Lord last night, even though like the pizza rolls taste good and all that, my body really isn't calling for that. And my body is seriously rejecting these foods, and it's doing it in the form of having stomach trouble at night. My body's rejecting this stuff. And just like what I'm having to do during the week of pre-making my menu, I'm going to have to do that on the weekend too. And it might be a small pain in my tushy, but at least it keeps me on track. And the one thing, this is the crazy thing, the woman that had lost the 100 pounds had said something along the line, what isn't tracked isn't managed. And then Corey, on Redefining Strength, said, what is tracked is maintained. So basically putting it, because God is on my side for losing weight, He's on my side to getting better, because this is His temple and my body that me and Him both has to live in. And so He resets me. And I might get it throughout the week, and then on the weekend I let it go over top my head. The weekend is not an excuse for me to go lazy. Yeah, I'm resting my body from exercise so it can recuperate, regenerate, and be ready for the next week. But it is not for me to get lazy and not take more care into how I eat. It's not an entitlement. So I'm going to have to pre-make my menu over the weekend and just keep up with that. I mean, the one thing I did do, I logged. I logged my food Saturday. I logged my food yesterday. The only thing I didn't log was my sandwich last night. But I logged. So now I'm going to have to also pre-make my menu and stick by it. Focus on having the good proteins. And I've got my watch set to go off at 9 o'clock every night to let me know, to signal me, okay, it's time for me to wind down and get to bed. Every time that I go past that and I stay up, I end up hungry, which is a giant no. No. That hurts me a lot too. And I did Saturday, yesterday, and even Friday night. I stayed up beyond. But I'm also kind of I'm working hard on my earnings because the end of the month is coming up, and I'm wanting to make sure that I've got enough to cash out and everything. And so, I'm just working very hard to try to get some things done, and so I'm staying up late to get that achieved. But that is no excuse. When my watch goes off, I need to start winding down. I need to get settled and hit the bed. That way, I don't give my body a chance to call for more food. That is the one thing I still have not conquered yet, is being satisfied enough that I don't need to eat past 6 o'clock. I still haven't settled that yet. And I am still aiming for that. I am still aiming to be able to get myself settled so that I do not eat past 6 o'clock. Because I know that right there will make a big, giant difference in my behalf. Either those are giant drops or we've got hell. We've got hail. Oh my goodness, that is big hail. Let me show you. We've got hail. See if yins can see that. See that? That's good size hail. That hail's about quarter size. Oh, about the size of nickels, I guess. Dimes and nickels. That's the reason why I'm not out there walking or live streaming because of that. So, well, so basically, anyway, the lesson that I had learned, and it was a very vital lesson that will make a big difference in my weight loss from here on out, is although I may like the crunchiness and the flavor of the pizza rolls with the ranch, if I'm going to do that, maybe only fix myself 4 to 6. That would be okay. That's more in moderation, and that's the recommended serving size on the bag. The recommended serving size for fries on the bag, I think, is like 12 or 16. I think it's 16. 16 fries. So that, stick, if I'm going to eat anything like that, I need to stick with the serving size. That way I'm within the calories and I'm not overdoing it with my stomach so that my stomach doesn't end up acidic. But the bigger thing that I learned was that my body is really calling for the better quality foods, so to speak. I hate using these kind of terms because that's just the same as making it out like the food that I like, aside from that, is totally bad for me. And it's not. It's not bad for me, but it is horrible for me when I eat it in large bulk. And that is the key. It has often been said, everything in moderation. Even Corey on her video said that there is no limitation. In other words, she was meaning whatever you've got a taste for, go for it. But she wasn't saying to gorge on it, and that is the big key. If I want something like that, then I need to go on ahead and go by the package suggestion or less, which would probably be the better choice, to go on ahead and do less. So instead of 16 fries, maybe 10 fries. Instead of 6 pizza rolls, maybe just 4. But that's not the big lesson that I learned. What I had learned was my body really does long for like the marinated chickens and the steaks and like the yogurt, and my body is calling for more natural food, I guess you could say, instead of the recreated food. Because you think about it, I'm not going to use the word processed because everything is processed. Everything. But recreated. Like, for instance, you get yourself bagged fries. They're already pre-fried the first time. You just have to finish frying them. The pizza rolls, they're already pre-made. You just have to finish baking them or frying them, stuff like that. But I'm talking about the more fresh food, or the more natural food that comes in its more natural form, like the steaks, whatever type meat you get, it comes from a part of the cow, right? Or any other meat. A drumstick from a chicken, breast from a chicken, or if you like pork of any kind, more natural foods. Green beans, even though I get them in the can, big flip deal, you grow green beans. You know what I'm saying? And that's what my body is calling for. The more natural type foods that's got the nutrients already in them by nature, instead of being shoved in together through a creation. I guess you could put it like that. And I noticed that my signal has dropped dramatically. It's kind of going erratic. So I'm going to try to finish this up, and I hope that this doesn't buffer for any of you. So I hope that you can catch this and watch it just fine. But it comes right down to it. God turned around and blessed me in a certain way by doing this. He started me back over today at 223.6, and he wants me to do it right this weekend. And come this weekend, he wants me to continue doing it right. This morning, I did my strength training, but I added more to it. I added more count and reps. So this time I did 6 minutes worth of a workout instead of 3. So that's a plus. So I burnt more calories on my strength training. And even though I can't get out there and walk because of the storm that's coming through, there are things that I can do in this house that I am going to do because, like I said, God made sure I had no excuse when it came to exercise. So I am going to implement what I know I can do here inside the house. So I'm going to go on ahead and get off here. But my big point is I learned a very valuable lesson over the weekend to pre-write my menu, keep within the calorie allowance because as it happens, I won't be exercising per se. So I got to make sure that I'm within the calorie limit and to make sure that I am satisfied and that I go to bed close around 9 o'clock when my watch goes off. Even if I go to bed about 10 or 10:30 is fine. And basically for me to not overdo it, and if I do choose to eat something like pizza rolls or whatever, for me to have a small count instead of a large plate. And I will feel so much better. And therefore, any weight loss that I manage during the week, I can continue through the weekend. And then I'll have an even better number for the next week that I share with you. Basically coming to it. Lessons well learned. I had said Friday that I finally have myself. Whether I'm holding myself by my ankle or by my hand, it doesn't matter. I have got myself. I am paying attention to my body. I'm listening to it. I'm trusting the Holy Spirit to lead and guide me. And I am really paying close attention to what's going on so that I can continue this even on the weekend. I don't want to get lazy or do things haphazardly ever again. I don't want to take advantage of anything ever again. I'm in this for the long haul. I have got to do this for real. So anyway, that is pretty well it for today. I will be with you tonight with a conclusion for my day. And I love yous and I greatly appreciate yous. And I am hungry and I'm going to go on ahead and fix myself something to eat. So let me go on ahead and show you my list. I know normally I go on ahead and put my list down on my conclusion video, but I'm going to show it to you now. I've got it pre-made. So for this morning, I'm going to have myself a mocha. I'm going to have 2 slices of ham. Now, I have got my deli slice ham from Buddig, but I have also got Kentucky Legend sliced ham, and that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be using the Kentucky Legend sliced ham this time. So I'm going to use 2 slices, and I'm going to have beets and a half-cup yogurt. That's going to be my first meal today. And then for dinner, I'm going to be having 2 shrimp spring rolls, which I'm also going to be doing a taste test on my other channel, The Food Critic. If you would ever want to go over there and check that out, I do food reviews sometimes. And I'm also going to be having a flat steak and some green beans. I didn't drink all of my Arizona tea, so today I'm going to be having the rest of it. And then for dessert, 1 Tootsie Roll Pop, because the good news is I have no more candy except for the lollipops. Yay! And the lollipops is only 60 calories, and I'm satisfied with one. And it doesn't make me sick. I don't get overdone by the sugar on it. It's perfect. Perfect. And you can get a bundle of them for just $1 at DG. It's perfect. So anyway, that is going to be my meal plan. I'm thinking like I won't be satisfied with everything that's on here for my second meal, so I may add an egg, but I don't know. I might just stick with that because I am wanting to eat less. And so that would be a good excuse for my stomach to shrink, which I have also noticed that I get full easier. So I must be shrinking my stomach a little, which would be awesome news that I have to eat smaller portions anyway. And that might be the bigger reason why that I have had so much stomach trouble, because I have shrunk my stomach and I don't need to eat as much, and then I overdo that. And yeah. Anyway, it is all good. It is all very good. And I am ready to get through this week and to even get through the weekend. This weekend, we're going to Houston. We're going to visit my housemate's mama and see her new house. And so I don't know how it's going to be, but I'm still going to do my best, and I am going to log. I'm going to try very much to log what I eat while I'm there, and I'm hoping that I will have gotten a pretty good head start this week, so that next week while I'm in Houston, I won't gain. That's what I'm hoping. So anyway, I am so ready to get at this. I'm hungry, and I will see you tonight with a conclusion video, and again tomorrow with another live stream. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry that you came on when you did. I'm ready to hang it up, but all is good. All is good. You can watch me on the replay. Anyway, I love you, and thank you so much. I'll see you tonight. You have a great day.